another position that we hold, and we sold about 50%. I did have some pings around, why are you selling at 50%? You know, aren't you bullish about Apple and things like that? I'll explain it to you in a bit after I explain the levels. But like this is the nice breakout that we have seen on Apple. Apple was also the trade idea for the week last week. We saw this bullish wedge, and after that it just kept chugging higher. 196 was the target, and we hit that, and we closed above it also on Friday. And next target here is 198 and 200. I do think will come after the during the event or something like that, and we see a pop, and then we probably will flag for a day or two until CPI, and then we can probably break out above 200 also on Apple this week. So keep an eye out for that. We do have the I don't remember which ones we have. I think we have the 200 calls, right? I think so. But anyway, I think it's the 200 calls for this week expiry. But anyway, okay, to explain you about a risk management strategy that I have, right? Like, for example, Apple position, I think it was about $14,000. I think it was around 100 contracts that I picked up at around $13.80 or so. Sorry, $1.38 or so, right? So let's say you have so that was around $14,000, right? So once it was hitting 50%, how much do I have as a profit? $7,000, right? So once I hit 50% with the $7,000 profit, and I sell 50% of my position, right? Like so where am I selling? Let's say I sold it at $2, right? Actually, I did sell it at $2. So $2, and that's where I was like, $20,000, so sell half. Now I just have the $10,000 position. How much of profit did I make, right? I made $3,000 profit, let's say, right? So now think about my mindset, right? Like I did go $14,000, and then all of this is in the game plan, by the way. I did post about my position as to what the size was and all that. But now, what is my capital in the trade? Right, $7,000, right? Because I already made $3,000 profit, which was booked by me, and then I took out a total of $10,000. So $10,000 is out with $3,000 profit, and then in the 10,000 that I have left, $3,000 is profit, and $3,000 is profit that I already picked up. What is the capital that I have in the trade now? It's just like $6,000, right? So $6,000 is half of what I made last week. Right. So in my mind, when I'm thinking about it, I'm just thinking, okay, even if Apple fails and I don't make money, all I'm losing is last week's profit. I'm not really touching my capital in a way where I'm depleting my account, right? So when I'm thinking about things like that, that's essentially how I'm always using my risk management to say, to de-risk myself, to basically not have as much cap of my capital in the trade, but I do have capital in there because of the profits that I've already booked and made, right? So that is the reason why I kind of scale in and scale out. I mean, you can hold on to it, it's totally fine, but that's just not me, right? Like that's not something that has worked out for me. I mean, it can work out in a certain way where like I'll probably hold 10 trades and say, okay, one trade just do 10x and the other 9 can go to 0, I don't really care. Or 2 trades go 5x, the other 8 go to 0, I don't really care. But at the end of the day, you're basically break even, right? Like that's essentially what you're seeing. But if you see the third or the fourth trade go 5x, that's where you're making a money of 5 trades, right? So but for me, I just like making money consistently over 5 trades than trying to hit that lottery of thinking, okay, I hit my 2 trades, now I'm at break even, and now I'm searching for the third trade to happen and praying that it happens, and if it does, then I make my money, right? That's not what I'm trying to target, right? Reducing the number of trades, trying to be consistent with your setup, and then making that money, which gives you more confidence into making that trade. As you grow as a trader, you'll make like those 1 or 2 trades, and then you're like, okay, I'm done for the week. I'll just have my vacation or enjoy my time with my kids and family, right? Like that's essentially what you're going after, right? So that is why I do what I'm doing, right? Like I get out at half a position or whatnot at 50%, 40%, 30%, 40%, or 50%, and then I let it ride for 70, 80%. I sell 1/4 again, and then once it hits 100%, I'm mostly out of my position, like 9 out of 10 times. But sometimes I'm like, okay, you know what? I leave about 5 or 10 contracts, see what happens. Even if it goes to zero, I'm totally fine. But I generally like rolling up, like like I was saying, roll up trade, make $1,000, use $300 to trade. So that's essentially what I did with Apple, and that's partly why I kind of sold some also. Like you never know what happens on Saturday and Sunday. Someone might attack someone, and the market can open like deep red, right? And then you're losing all that profit as well, and which can mentally really affect you in the long run. I mean, in you're trading for the entire week as well. So rather book your profits, stay a little safer, be in a position where you can dictate your position and say, okay, you know what, okay, you are down, but then I do have confidence in you, so I'll probably play it, hold you a little bit longer and see what happens. So that's essentially what happened with Apple last week.